Today I'm going to use the producer-consumer pattern to demonstrate array blocking queues. So before blocking queues were available in Java 5, you needed to synchronize your resources shared between the threads using some sort of monitor or lock with a wait and a notify to let the other threads know when shared resources were available again. But with array blocking queues, you don't have to do that. They're thread safe. So I'm going to create my kitchen scenario, and I have my project here, array blocking queue. I have a package, I have an app, the app has a main method. So my kitchen scenario, I'm going to have a chef, and I have a waiter. The shared resource is going to be the countertop. So the waiter can't serve dishes and take dishes from the countertop if they're not there, so he would have to wait. The chef can't load too many dishes on the countertop until the waiter takes them away. So you can see that there's a capacity issue there. Let's go to the package, right click, and class chef. All right, so chef is going to run as a thread. So we're going to implement runnable, and that should be complaining here because we have to add unimplemented methods. Run is the method I needed to implement, and our shared resource is the countertop. So I'm going to make one countertop in the app and then just send them to the chef and the waiter so they could share them. I'm going to use the blocking queue, that's the interface, to hold the countertop resource. There we go. Control-Shift-O to import that. I'll do a constructor, chef, and we'll do blocking queue. There we go. Type is going to be string, and countertop. All right, now I'm going to give it my member variable, countertop, and I'm going to assign it the countertop that we passed in, the shared resource. All right, that looks good. Let's do something similar to the waiter. We'll say to make a waiter, right click on your package, new, class, and this is the waiter. And the waiter is going to implement runnable, implements runnable. And it's complaining, add unimplemented methods. There you go, you got to run. So now we're going to have two threads. We're going to have our chef, we're going to have our waiter, two thread classes. We can have many, many threads. We don't have to just stop at two. We're going to do blocking queue and string, and this is going to be the same resource. We're going to pass it in the constructor. So we need a constructor, public, waiter, and I'll do blocking queue, string, countertop. All right, and then we'll get our member variable and assign it the countertop that got passed into the constructor. Nice. Now, I'll save all this. Let's go back to our app. And here I need a list of, I'm going to make a list of dishes that they can make. So we'll make it small, but a little bit interesting. We don't want to just pass in numbers or something. So we'll say public static string. I'm just going to make a regular array, not an array list or anything like that. A string array. Call this meals equals, and there we go. Let's put in some easy stuff like chicken, rice, burger, and pancake. There we go. Looking good. Now, inside the main method, let's instantiate an array blocking queue. So I'm going to use the interface to hold the data using some polymorphism here. Whoops. Blocking queue. It's going to be string data. Countertop. So this is our one and only countertop. We're going to pass the reference to both of the threads. So we'll say array B and then space, control space, bring up array blocking queue. Here is the capacity. So we don't have to check to see if it's full. We put a 6 in there. It's going to have 6 slots. Yeah, you can put any number you want in there, but the array blocking queue will manage that. We'll make sure that we're not going to add stuff to it. You can't put stuff in it. You're going to use put and take. We're not going to use add and remove. So put and take are thread safe. You can't put another dish into the array blocking queue until someone takes it if you're already at 6. Likewise, if you're at 0, you can't take anything until someone puts something in it, right? And the array blocking queue handles that. That's what's cool. We don't have to do the monitors ourselves. So I'm going to use the executor service. I'll say ES, and let's do a Control-Shift-O, and that's what I'm going to use to run my threads. So let's see, executors, and this is going to make a fixed thread pool. So the executor service manages your threads. You can make a thread pool as big as you want. I only need 2 threads, but it's kind of cool, so I figured I'd use it for this example. And then we just do execute, so we don't have to do the run or the start. We don't have to do thread.start. Just pass in our chef, countertop, and ES, execute, new, waiter, countertop. And now we should be good to go. Oh, look at that, I spelled waiter wrong, hold on. Waiter. All right, that looks good, that looks good. So this part's finished. I'm just gonna fill out a little more in my chef and my waiter. So in the chef, we're not really doing anything yet, right? We have to prepare dishes. So I'll say private void prepare dish string dish. There we go. We'll sleep a little bit because it's going to take some time to get that dish. Let's sleep. I don't know, we'll do 800 milliseconds. And this is complaining because we need to add throws. I'm going to add throws to declaration. We have to do something with that possible exception. Do a sys out, control space, and we'll do a print out dish plus is ready. There are countertop size, plates waiting. And you know what I should do? Let's add the dish to the countertop prior to printing that out, because then once we put the dish there, we are actually going to have that amount of dishes that are waiting. So I'll do my countertop, and I have to use put, not add, use put. So dish. Now if the array blocking queue is full, we're going to wait. If it's not full, we'll put the dish. All right. And then we can just go ahead and do our run. Let's do a while true for string dish, and what was that, app menu or meals, there we go, meals. Do prepare dish with our dish. This is complaining because we threw an interrupted exception in that method. We need to surround with try catch. I'll just get rid of that comment here. There, that's looking good. All right, let's do something similar on the waiter. They have to pick up dishes. So we prepared dishes, and now we're going to pick up dishes. So we'll say private void pick up dish, and we're going to get our countertop. What we'll do is we'll do a little bit of a sleep. So should we make the waiter slower than the cook? Let's do that. Let's do sleep, and I'll make 500 milliseconds. Go ahead and throw this, add throws of declaration. And we'll pick up our plate. Whoops, I don't want that. Sys out. Got the plate. Counter top take. Yeah, there we go. And this is going to be even a simpler run. We're just going to grab dishes. So we'll say pick up dish. We do have to do a try catch because we have an interrupted exception. Yeah, looking good. All right, let's run it, see what we have. So I'm going to get a little bit of a real estate here for my console. hit the plus sign. And there we go. Oop, check this out. So I'm going to stop it. So you see there's no errors. We have 1 plate going, 0 plates going. But we have chicken is ready, got chicken. Now we got rice, and rice is ready. So if you start doing if you start Googling the results for this array blocking queue, this is going to come up a lot. They're going to be like, why isn't this in order? Like, how can you pick something up prior to it being ready? Well, it's the system out print line, right? You're not guaranteeing when it prints. So it's a little bit of an artifact there. But the array blocking queue is working correctly. You just have to keep that in mind. Your printouts aren't going to be quite right. When we did our wait and notified in the synchronized block, that was better because we were executing the entire block when we were notifying and waiting. But this is working fine. I'm going to run it. I'm going to show you there's not going to be any errors. We're not going to exceed capacity, and we're not going to worry about taking plates that aren't there. There we go. So that's not going very high because the waiter is slow. Let's make the waiter or the waiter is fast. Let's make the waiter a little slower. So we'll say 1.2 milliseconds. There we go. And now the plate should start climbing a little bit. There we go, 2 plates. And when we get to 6, we're going to start waiting for plates. We're not going to go over that. So we did not go under 0. We're not going to go over 6. There we go. Looking good. So that's how you use the array blocking queue. You don't have to worry about checking to see if there's enough capacity or if there's enough elements. However, you do have to remember when you're doing that, we'll take the item, and that's going to do the necessary waiting. Remove won't. So you might run into trouble if you will run into trouble if you use remove and put. So take and put. That's what you need for the array blocking queue. All right, so I hope you had a good tutorial here, and let me know if you have any questions.